Hey, this is William Tincup and Ryan Leary. You're listening and hopefully watching the Heroes of HR Limited podcast brought to you by isolved. And we've got Michelle on today, and so we've got some questions to ask Michelle. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. Brian, how are you doing?
I am fantastic. You just call
I'm
me
glad.
Brian?
No, I called you Ryan, but I'm
No.
glad that we're
I,
wearing the same shirt. I like
yeah,
that.
that's awkward.
No, we need to do that more often. We'll call each other the night before.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. So, Michelle, let's do introductions. So the audience gets to know you a little bit. Name, ring, serial number, just basic stuff.
Yeah, so my name is Michelle Hamilton, and I work at a company called Adore Me. And that company is actually based in New York. And we also have an office in Paris and Bucharest, Romania.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. And we also do have another company that is under our umbrella called Daily Look. So it's all fashion, not just lingerie, but sportswear as well, pajamas. Yeah. And recently we were acquired by Victoria's Secret, so we're all now under their umbrella, which is kind of exciting. It's exciting.
Well, that's fantastic. And they're based out of Ohio, Columbia.
They are, yes.
Yeah. Wow, that is fantastic. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, the one thing I love about Adore Me is that it's a company that believes in going green, and our demographic is really into making sure that we're not doing anything to hurt the environment. So we really are careful about the dyes we use, the clothing and everything. So it's great. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
And we're a B-certified corporation.
That's awesome. I mean, first of all, it's nice because it seems like that's your personal values, but also that if true, your personal values align with the corporate values, which is
always
rare.
A good thing.
I know.
Always good.
Always good. All right, let's see a couple of questions that we want to ask you from a talent perspective. What's keeping you up at night these days?
I think the thing that we think about for the future, especially like 2025, one thing I worry about with people is sometimes you put a job description out, and sometimes I think people focus on, I have to fit it perfectly, the mold, or else they don't even apply. And I think that's kind of, it hurts people who don't do that, because I've done that myself too in jobs where you look at it, something like, well, I match this, and this, but maybe this and this don't match, so they just don't even apply. And I think that can hold people back. And I feel like if you're someone out there and you find an interest, something that even looks like it closely fits, you should apply. Because you just never know. Maybe the person that you meet with is looking for this, but when they talk to you, they can expand what they're looking for. So I think that's something that people should take more of a chance for themselves in their career.
It's so interesting because I think, Michelle, being in this space for so long as recruiters and in HR, we often forget when people are applying and looking for jobs, they're often intimidated at the process, right? And so they see this long list of bullet points and they're not applying when they really do have the ability and the skill to do the job. It's an interesting.
This is the first time, Ryan, I can remember a practitioner saying the sentiment around, hey, listen, the job description is a guide.
Yeah.
It's not the gospel.
Yeah.
Like,
it's usually the opposite. Don't apply if you don't have the skill, because I don't want to look at you.
Exactly. It is usually the opposite.
People. Screen
I like that. And it's also something that you could do inside your careers page and the job description itself. It's like, hey, listen, this is a laundry list of things that we wish. However, if you're close, go for it. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, because also one thing I hope that people understand too when they see those is that this could be like something you're initially getting into, and maybe these are goals you could work on as you're in that job. Because nobody's 100%. Expected to be 100% fit the mold perfect, so that's the thing that I hope in the future people say, hey, I'm just going to take a risk and go for it, because you never know what will happen.
Yeah. So what excites you as we're going into 2025? What are you most excited and looking forward to?
I think especially like in our industry, things are always changing. And I think as an employee and an employer, when you go into something, maybe even if you have a job and you think this is what my job is going to be, when the company starts changing, have that flexibility and move with it. So I think that's kind of an exciting thing, because you can start out with one thing in your job, but even a year later, that could change, and it could be an exciting change for you, an exciting change for the company. And as long as you have that ability to kind of grow and change and not be intimidated by that. Just always be open-minded, and I think that's an exciting thing. And hopefully in 2025, because I know our company has goals for the future, and they always change, but people change with them, and they're the ones that kind of tend to really grow in their own personal careers, which I think is wonderful. That's an exciting thing, because you don't have to just say I'm just stuck in this thing. You can kind of grow and become something more with your company as well.
Again, something I don't hear normally. However, Amy Mosher, the CHRO of isolved, who I podcast with her probably 2 months into COVID. So this is probably May of 2020. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, how you doing? She goes, I've coined this phrase, or I use this phrase, radical flexibility, because everything that we thought we knew, we don't know. So you throw all the stuff out, or here's your guidelines and here's your policies, and this is the way you do this. It's like, throw it all out. Everything's on the table. It's radical flexibility. And she was talking about herself and how she needed to kind of be different, because she kind of came up through the ranks and had great positions and all that stuff. And she's like, I got to unlearn. I got to embrace this radical flexibility. I like that you're excited about that. Some people are terrified about change,
right,
and even flexibility. So that's wonderful to hear. Let me ask this question: when isolved says people heroes, and you hear that term, what does that make you think of?
I think, especially when I first learned about People Heroes, I like it because it's a community of people who have kind of like-minded interests, but also you can go out there and you can ask each other questions. Like maybe you're at this point in your career and somebody else has already experienced that, and you can kind of reach out to each other. I think it's like a group of supportive people that we all think alike, and we're out there to support each other, to help each other. It's a great community. I really think positively of it. It's exciting. I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Michelle, let's hypothetical. You're at a cocktail party. You're talking to someone who's not in HR, or payroll. How do you describe that to them?
You know what? I actually do talk to people about it, because before I started working at a dormy, I had never really heard of isolved. And, sometimes when you go into something, you're thinking, oh, I wonder if this is going to work, if it's going to work well. And as I've worked with it, I really love isolved. I think it's got all the capabilities of other companies that do, but they're also constantly upgrading and changing, and they take input from their customers too. Because if we say, hey, I wish the system could do this, or we think it could do that, you put that out there, and all of a sudden, a few months later, you might see an upgrade, and you're like, hey, they are listening. They listen to their customers, and they care about the companies that they're working with. Everyone that I've worked with at isolved has always been very friendly and kind, and nobody's ever been rude. I think their customer service is great. Honestly, I think this is a great company to work with, and if your company ever needed one, I would always say, hey, look at them, because at least put them in the running, because they're great. I love working with isolved.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. Is there's a humility to isolved that I haven't seen in a lot of other vendors. And I've been in the industry for a long time, longer than I care to mention. And I see a lot of people beating their chest, saying how great they are at whatever, and only to find out that they're not really great at that. Whereas almost the opposite is true at isolved. They don't talk about how great they are. They just kind of quietly go about their business and give great customer service and great products and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I would really say is a standout about isolved is the customer service. And I think any of us who are in this industry, I think even if you've worked with another one, sometimes you find they help you, but they don't always help you timely. Or maybe they'll, like especially on a payroll side, sometimes you could be transmitting and it could be transmitting, and you're like, oh my gosh, I really need help with this. Some of the other companies will say, okay, we'll get back to you, and it's a week later, and you have to go back and fix things and correct them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here, if you're having an issue, they really will talk to you. They will help you. You can email them. You can talk on the phone with them. And I find that very helpful, a responsive thing to be able to have that kind of right away help when you need it is very helpful. I mean, any of us who are in this, we know like, hey, that's important. So I think iSolved really excels in customer support. It's great. Yeah.
If you're transmitting payroll and you're having an issue, you don't have time to wait.
Nope.
People need to be paid, and they
That's
will
right.
get angry with you, specifically you.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
it's
don't
Michelle's
care
fault.
what your customer service rep said, so that's
Right.
always good to have.
And
Yeah.
plus, it makes me look better too, because if I
That's
have
right.
to go back and fix something later and say, oh, well, hey, so and so, this company couldn't help me right away, it doesn't really sound good to your boss to say, well, hey, could you have done more? Well, sometimes you really can't.
Right.
You need
No.
that help. But I don't have to do that with iSolve because I haven't been put in that situation. They're always there to help me. And
I love
I
it.
have really appreciated that.
So as a practitioner, sometimes your battery can run a little low, you get highs and lows of HR. How do you recharge your battery? So when you get kind of tired or down or whatever, what's your go-to to recharge your kind of people heroes battery, if you will?
Yeah, one thing I really like about the People Heroes community is that they do have like a lot of training classes and even webinars like this podcast, everything too. Sometimes, you want to just sit back and say, hey, I know I may understand a lot about my job, but I'd like to listen to this webinar or this master class or, just something else where you can hear someone talking about it, people asking questions, and yourself, you think, hey, I've thought that too, and I'm glad someone asked that question. So I really like that aspect of it. And, sometimes too, you just need a break from the normal day-to-day things. So hey, I want to join this webinar for an hour. I'm going to take a little break and listen to this. Or, that's very helpful. I like that. They do also have this thing, the People Heroes community, where they have the challenges. That's kind of fun too. Like if you need a little break, just like, hey, I need a mind break or something, go in and work on those People Heroes challenges. They're fun too.
It's funny. I did one of the master classes for them months ago, and the questions, like we didn't have slides and stuff. It was just kind of a state of or AMA, whatever. But like we couldn't get to all the questions. There were so many. So I loved it. It's a great format because it isn't going to try to kill you with PowerPoint and all this other stuff. It was really good. Well done. Michelle, thank you for carving out time for us.
Sure.
Thank you for being on the podcast. Ryan, thank you for being you and wearing my shirt.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely appreciate you.